April, better get ready, girl. I'm going deep.
Put a foot in their ass, please.
Attention, please. This here feels like the whole entire world collapse.
And the first fight after the main and co-main event at UFC 226, we have the biggest, the baddest, the most bestial fight you're ever gonna see. Francis the Predator Ngannou, the Black Beast himself, Derrick Lewis. Boys, I mean, this is crazy. It doesn't get any bigger or better than this, does it? I mean, how excited are you for this fight?
Insanely excited, Eric, man. This is the fight of the year for me. I think these guys, man, you want to talk about big, large heavyweights. These are like two of the biggest guys in the division. And I think Derrick Lewis is just so exciting to watch and really fun guy to follow as well. So I want to see him against, the electrifying Ngannou. There's going to be so much power in this fight. It's going to be crazy to watch. Anyone could win at any moment, I think, in this fight. There's going to be lots of like big, heavy haymakers and hooks thrown everywhere. It's hard to call, I think. I think they're both quite experienced, but not massively experienced, quite young in their careers. Mm-hmm. But I want to see how Ngannou handles a guy like Derrick Lewis as well, because he's more of a newer fighter.
And how he rebounds from that loss to Stipe.
Yeah, it was a big loss to Stipe, so he needs to win this fight to stay in title contention.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they reinforce the cage on this one. It's going to be two bulls just going at it. We know, what Black Beast, Derrick Lewis does. He tries to take people's heads off.
Yeah.
Ngannou doesn't like to get out of the first round.
Oh, man.
And
that Ngannou uppercut as well.
Oh, yeah, the ovary.
Both these guys have lethal uppercuts.
Yeah.
They just send you flying.
It's really hard to picture how this fight will go other than just a complete brawl.
Yeah, there's got to be a knockout in this fight, right?
But who knows? They could both respect each other's power. And
yeah, maybe if they can take each
yeah.
other's punches, it might go for a long fight.
Yeah, but like I said, don't blink in this one.
So much power, isn't it? So much unbelievable raw power in this fight from both of them. Francis Ngannou, one of the absolute stars in the last year, man. Like, his performances were just so sick. Those knockouts speak for themselves. But as you called it, man, it's big to come back after the Stipe loss. He got exposed in that fight. Yeah. So he's really got to show that he's improved. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's going to be looking to see if he's improved in terms of his cardio and in terms of anything but that vicious fucking uppercut. And Derrick Lewis, he's been progressively getting better and better. And you can see that even when he's tired and deeper in rounds, he's still able to put people away. So we know that he can go longer into the rounds. So it's just going to be an unbelievable fight. I mean, hard to call, super exciting, but who are you picking, man? Who do you think's going to come out on top in this one?
Okay, I'm going to go for Derrick Lewis on this one. I think he's got the lock on his side, and I think he can stretch this and catch him in the late rounds. And he's quite comfortable doing that. He likes doing that.
Yeah.
So I see him with a late knockout in the third round for Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, completely agree. Maybe a bit quicker, but I feel Derrick Lewis shows that heart to constantly come back when he's losing a fight on all the judges' scorecards. And cardio is the big issue, yeah. Like I said, Lewis gets tired, but he can still go. And we saw Ngannou gas so hard in that Stipe fight.
Yeah.
So I'm going for a Derrick Lewis KO in the second round.
Okay.
Nice. I'm going for the Predator Ngannou KO in the second. And that's mainly because Derrick Lewis has never wanted to back down from a challenge and a brawl. And I think Ngannou's like the worst person on planet Earth to do that with. And his superhuman power is just going to catch him and knock him out. But I expect a fucking fun fight. Next, we've got Chiesa and Pettis. A very important fight in the lightweight division. Number 9 against number 12, 14-3, Michael Chiesa. 20-7, Anthony Pettis. Pettis with his back against the wall, probably. It's an important fight. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, really excited to see Michael Chiesa back. He's really been coming up really well in the division. Only that loss to Kevin Lee recently, which was a bit controversial, but he's looked really good, and Pettis, an ex-champion, is a big step up for Chiesa, and a lot of questions about Pettis. He's looked very tentative in recent fights, so...
That's it, yeah. For me, Pettis has looked way too shaky in his last few fights, so it's hard to think that he's going to have a big advantage in this fight in case it's much younger, fresher, up-and-coming fighter. A lot of couple controversial losses, but he's always looked good anyway. So I'd expect a really good show from Chiesa in this one to show what he can do, and hopefully, I think try to tap out Pettis though is a real challenge because his jiu-jitsu is fucking solid, man.
Yeah, he's got heart, Pettis. He can take a licking as well.
Yeah,
and it's only 3 rounds, so it's going to be a war.
Yeah, I think Pettis is going to be better off with his strikes in this one. Hopefully, he does a good knockout.
What do you think, Eric?
Pettis is such a fan favourite, man, but it's not the Pettis that we see these days. It was the one back in the day. And the thing with him is he hasn't really evolved, man. He's just remained that kind of flashy striker. And people have grown wise to it, man. And if you put the pressure and you close the distance, he can't get off none of that fancy shit. And his game can be shut down. And I just fear that he hasn't evolved and time's caught up with him and he's not really going to change, sadly. So I think Michael Chiesa is a huge favourite. I mean, he has to close that distance. I think it'll be hard for him to tap Pettis out. It's he's got good submission defence, but I think he'll win the exchanges in the grappling, Michael Chiesa, and I think he probably comes away with a decision victory if I was to put my neck on the line. But I think Chiesa is more skilled at this moment in time than Pettis, and Chiesa's got his eyes on really getting up that division and having a crack at Kevin Lee again and some of the top dogs, and he'll put Pettis away.
Yeah, I feel like Pettis has shown a weakness to wrestlers in the past. He's been held down a few times. Chiesa is a great wrestler, and I agree. I feel he will win a decision, but he'll get Pettis down and beat him up on the floor and be going for chokes and submissions. So yeah, I'm picking Chiesa on this one.
Yeah,
I'll go unanimous, but yeah, I feel like he'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Chiesa winning this one as well, because I think Pettis is just on a downward slope at the moment. So I'm going to go with Chiesa, but I'm going to say he'll finally pull off the submission, but towards the end of the second round. It won't be easy.
Gokhan Saki versus Khalil Rountree, 2 big boys, man, that are vicious. They throw heavy hands, and Saki is an ex-K1 competitor at the highest level, and he's got vicious kicks and a lot of power. This should be a fireworks kind of fight. Pretty excited for it.
Yeah, man, heavy hands in this one. We saw Gokhan in his debut, just really exciting striker. Puts his all into the fight, always looking for the finish.
Yeah.
Never takes a backward step. And the same for Khalil Rountree. These two are going to meet in the middle of the octagon and throw down, I think, in this one.
We saw Rountree Jr. in the Ultimate Fighter. He was a real beast in that, man. I enjoyed watching him. I think he was one of the most exciting fighters in that season. So I want to see what he can actually do in the actual octagons. Should be good.
Cool. We've also got Uriah Hall against one of my boys, Paula Costa, who's now carrying the new nickname, the Eraser. This is a new addition, I may add. Putting his 11-0 win streak on the line against the tricky kickboxer Uriah Hall, but perennial underachiever. I'm excited. I think this is a big step for Paula Costa to... He knocks out Uriah Hall. I think he's on to bigger and better things, which I believe he's capable of. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, if he can avoid the tricky flash kick out of nowhere that Uriah Hall is known for, I feel like Paulo Costa has got the edge in this one, and I feel like he's got that grit inside him, that South American grit. That just Uriah Hall, when the going gets tough, he just doesn't want to know, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think he kind of lost his drive recently, Uriah Hall, well, maybe a while ago even now, but he doesn't quite have that aggression he had when he started off.
Yeah.
He kind of backed down a little bit and got really tentative now.
And this is a tough young bull coming at him this time.
And I think everyone knows about the spin kick from Uriah all too much, so they all see it coming a mile away now. So you can't really pull it off anymore.
He doesn't have the killer instinct, does he?
No.
Time and time again, he's proven that to be the case. I'm going for a Bohachina knockout for sure, Paula Costa. What do you reckon? You all agree?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Paula Costa, but I'm going to say decision on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say he gets the KO second or third round.
Nice. And before that fight, I think has potential fight of the night written all over it as a sleeper fight on this card. Yancy Medeiros, the Hawaiian brawler against Platinum Mike Perry, which just should be fireworks, gentlemen. Two absolute killers. They don't know when to stop. They never back down. This should be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Absolute fireworks in this fight. I don't think there'll be a dull moment in this one. They both love to go for it, especially Mike Perry, but Medeiros, man, as well. He's had some classic fights already that we've seen. Both these guys have. They're just so pumped all the time. So
there won't be no hugging in this fight for Medeiros. A snarling Mike Perry coming across the cage from the opening bell. You know, I don't think I've ever seen him smile.
No, you don't want to blink in this fight because there's going to be so much action.
Yeah, fight of the night written all over this one. These two never let us down, so can't wait.
Definitely. And Yancy Medeiros, I think, is the more technical fighter, striker. But I think his propensity to want to brawl and Mike Perry's power, I think Mike Perry catches him late and knocks him out. I think Perry will probably go in as the underdog, but I think he'll probably catch him and knock him out, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I'd go with Perry on this one. He's got those sharp, vicious elbows.
Yeah.
And I think Medeiros is a bit rangier, and I think Perry has that one-punch power to just end it any time.
I see a real war in this one, but I see Medeiros trying to stretch it out and get a decision in the end of it all. I think Mike Perry's got a knack for kind of punching himself out a little bit too much, and I'd see him having like a really strong first and second round, but then getting tired out towards the end. Medeiros taking it at that point.
Sick, man. And it doesn't even stop there. We've got Rob Font, who we're also a big fan of, man. He's 15-3 record going up against the number 3 Raphael Assuncao. I've never liked Assuncao too much. He's one of these like real heavy wrestling top games, but doesn't offer that much on the feet. So I'm really hoping Rob Font can just put his hands on him and knock him out, and that'd be a big victory for him moving on up.
Yeah, the big climb up the ranks if he takes the W in this one, Rob Font. And like you said, Assuncao's never really excelled. He's always lost to the best in that division. And at bantamweight, this is a really fun fight, you know. Yeah,
interesting fight, important for the division. I see Raphael probably winning this one. It's a big challenge for Rob Font. But, you know, I hope we see a great fight out of this one.
Just smothering him with that Brazilian blanket.
And then 2 young studs in Max Griffin and Curtis Millender, 15-3, 14-4. You know, they're going to absolutely fucking exchange and lay on the line. 2 athletes, in fact. And the first fight, like I said, Dan the Hooker, Hangman, and Gilbert Burns. Dan the Hooker.
that should be his nickname.
Hello, boys.
The Hooker Hanger.
That's brilliant. So Dan Hooker against Gilbert Burns, that should be a real good scrap, man. Both of them are high-level strikers, and Gilbert Burns has his jiu-jitsu. And that's a fun fight to start it off. So all round, it's just a sensational card, eh?
Great card.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. It's probably one of the biggest we'll get this year. And yeah, it's going to be fireworks from the 5 past prelims.
Yeah.
So July 7th, make sure you check it out. You know, we've been the 3 Amigos MMA, myself, Eric, Lee, and Leo, putting it down to all the MMA fans out there. Much love.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Let us know in the comments who you think will win, and come back for more video previews.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Speak to you soon.